Now let's add the shield to the left hand. Now we've done a lot of work already, and we can reuse a lot of the programming scripts that we've already done. If you look in the man, we want to add the gear. So let's take the gear and the shield of the gear, and let's move it out of it. All right, so the name is shield-3, and we're going to use that. Now, where do we want the shield to be? We want it to be on the left hand, but we don't want it to be inside of the hand. We want it to be more closer in between the elbow and the hand, right? But we don't want it to be right here. We want it to be in the back mostly. So let's go ahead and know that this has to be rotated. How do we do this? Well, we need to say that the rotation is 180 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the hook and give the transforms to the hook. So let's go ahead inside of the spine. Let's look for the left shoulder. Inside of the left shoulder, you have the left arm. Then you will see the left hand here. So let's attach this to actually the left forearm, because it's easier to attach to the forearm because the shield is on the forearm, not in the hand, right? So let's go ahead and do this on the forearm. Let's take what I'm going to do. Actually, you know, both of them will work, but I'm going to go with the forearm, and that's okay. But know that both of them will work. I'm going to take the a new hook. I'm going to create a new hook by just creating a cube. Just for the sake of learning, I'm going to show you that you don't have to create a cube. You can create another type of structure. You can also create a sphere, or let's say a cylinder, and they all will work. Now, the reason why I'm going with the cube is because it's the one that has the least amount of surfaces. It's easier to calculate. But let's go ahead and use, this time I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to go with a cylinder. All right, so here goes the cylinder. It's way too big, but that's okay. I'm going to make this a child of the left forearm. There we go. And I'm going to rename it hook. And this time it's going to be left forearm. All right. You don't have to have the exact name as mine, as long as you remember how you call yours. I'm going to press enter. Now that we have it, let's modify it. I'm going to go in the scale and put a scale of 0.02 everywhere, just like I did for the cube earlier for the right hand. Okay, so it's a lot smaller. You can just click on it and we see it here. That's definitely not where we want it. Let's put it at position 0, 0, 0. And let's remove all rotations. 0, 0, 0. All right. So now let's zoom in. Here it is. That's the cylinder. And we want to move this a little bit because we want it to be right there. That's where the shield will be, somewhere around here. And we're going to rotate it in the sense that we want the shield to be not in the front, but probably in the back. So we're going to play with this rotation, but not right now, but in a little bit. Right now what matters is that we have the right position. So let's put it in a little bit, not completely inside, because the shield is going to be more outside than inside. Okay, so remember that the center needs to be a bit more on the outside. Now I'm going to remove the capsule collider and the mesh renderer. All right, I'm going to save this and I'm going back to Unity. I'm sorry, to the MonoDevelop, and inside of MonoDevelop, let's get the shield. How do we do this? Well, right here in the start, we can just say game object shield is equal to game object dot find, and the name of it, which will be shield-3. Okay, and now let's equip it. So equip shield. Now the reason why I'm saying shield is that because it's a special position for the shield. So equip shield, and that will be the name shield. And obviously we don't have this equip shield, so let's create it. Public void equip shield, and it needs to tell game object shield. All right, so we need the shield. Okay, so let's go ahead and do shield dot transform dot position, I'm sorry, dot parent, just like we did for the early one, is equal to, well, we need the hook here, we don't have it, so let's add it here. So public game object, and that will be hook left forearm. Right, we're going to need to set it up at some point, so that will be here hook left forearm dot transform. Okay, we have not created the offset yet, so we're gonna have to work on the offset, but no worries. Right now, let's just position the shield. All right, let's put this here. Let's go back to Unity, and inside of Unity, what we can do now is try this out. But before we do so, select the hook left forearm and go to the man_1, and let's get the hook left forearm here on the bottom right. As you can see, we still have not set this up, so let's look for it. That will be hook left forearm inside of the scene. There it is, and select it. All right, so now we have it here. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to press play and see, and you will see that the shield is going to go there, but it's not. We don't even see it. As you can see, I just pressed pause, and let's try to figure out where the shield is. If you look at it, and let's look at the shield, even though it's there, it's definitely not at the right position. It's like all the way up there, so we need to work on that. And the reason why is that we have not set the vector to 0. So we're going to need to do this. And inside of the equip shield, we need to add the vector 0, which would be shield dot transform dot local position is equal to vector 3 dot 0. Now we're going to need to do plus offset. So I'm going to start to write plus offset, and obviously we don't have the offset, but the offset is going to be just like above. So let's create this offset, and we're going to set it to 0 plus offset. All right, and I'm going to save that. As you can see, it doesn't have a hook script, so we're going to have to create the hook script. And let's go back to Unity and add the hook script to the shield. So inside of Unity, let's take the shield, which is right there, shield 3, and click on add component script and locate the script that says hook script. And don't add any position offset for now. And let's press play. And there we go, we see the shield, so that's okay, that's already better. Now the shield is definitely not pointing in the right direction, but it's pretty much where it needs to be. Now we could add an offset a little bit, as you can see on the x-axis maybe. You see we can modify it a bit, but what's going on here is that we need to rotate it by 90 degrees on the red axis, which is probably the y here. So if I subtract 90 from this, let me see if I can do minus 90. Yep, there we go. So we need to subtract 90 to this. All right, so let's do this in the script. Let's go inside the hook script, and let's create the vector that has all the degrees for the x, y, and z axis. Public vector 3, and the name, let's call it rotation offset. Right, and now inside of equip item script, we're going to call this. Inside of equip shield, let's go ahead and add the code to do that. So we already have the code for the position. Now let's add the one for the rotation. So let's grab that vector. That will be vector 3, and let's call it ROT for rotation offset is equal to the shield dot get component, and the component is obviously the hook script. And from the hook script, we get not the position, but this time the rotation offset. And then let's apply it. Shield dot transform dot rotate, and let's rotate using the rotation offset. So rotation or ROT offset. There it is. All right. Let's save this. And now inside of Unity, let's set up this rotation offset. So please save here, and let's go back to Unity and set up this offset. As you can see, it's about to appear right here on the right side. We don't have it yet. Here it is. All right, and let's put on the x-axis negative 90. Why is it on the x-axis? Because now this is on the x-axis on the local scale. Now let's press play and take a look at it. Perfect. As you guys can see, it's where we want it to be. However, we see the hand that's going a bit through it. How do you fix that? Well, you guys should already know. We can move the hook, right? So this hook can be moved a little bit more away. If I come here, I see that the hook is here. I can just move it a little bit more this way. So this will do. Now I'm going to save and press play. This should do it. It's just a little bit of tweaking. Yes, that's already better. It's not perfect, so I can move it actually a bit more. Let's go with that and press play. It's okay. It's much better. The other way is also to fix the, add some to the offset, because we have not done any offset for the actual shield. So you can click on the shield and do an offset, probably on the position. Let's look at it. So the shield is here. We can do it on the z-axis. Okay, so we can add a little bit to it. Okay, so that would be another way to do that. Okay, so now you can press play and take a look at it, and as you can see, we can easily play with the animation and it follows perfectly. That's exactly what we want. All right.